Hello, hello, ladies. Let me know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Like
Yeah,
women
same.
never give up. Well, let's continue. Let's actually start with. Let's start with Renna, and Renna is going to explain us about the Arbitrum Offchain Labs and what you guys are doing in very simple terms, and maybe a small presentation.
Yeah, third time's the charm. So Offchain Labs, we built the suite of Ethereum scaling solutions called Arbitrum, including Arbitrum One, Arbitrum Nova, and Arbitrum Orbit. So providing users and projects with things like faster transactions and cheaper gas costs.
Perfect. Thank you. So next one is Sasha. Sasha, I'm sorry you were the first to present, but now like a word to you.
Yeah, sure. Happy to explain what we're doing. So basically, when I'm trying to explain what 1inch is doing, is very complex at one side, but the main product is aggregation. We're leading DEX aggregator on the EVM ecosystem, and I was trying to explain it to my mom. And basically, the easiest way is when you go and want to get the cheapest flight tickets, you go to any aggregation platforms, and these platforms searching for you the best ticket price and give you the options. The same thing 1inch is doing for the ticket or for the tokens. So basically, on the backend side, we're looking for the best rates for you and giving you the best price when you want to swap one token to another. And this is our main product. But a part of that, we also have our API, developer API, where if you as a project would like to have this option on your site, you can just use this API through developer API. I want to highlight these two products here on the Twitter space.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
I guess your mother was like, okay, thank you, Sasha. Next question.
Yeah,
Well, okay,
but it's simple.
yeah. To mom now. Well, here we go with another guest. It's Tiffany from Solana Foundation, a blockchain platform that enhances transaction speeds and scalability. Actually, there is hardly anyone among our listeners who doesn't know Solana. So let's make it a little bit more different and difficult for Tiffany, and we will ask Tiffany to explain Solana to a non-crypto person. So how would you do that?
Hi, thanks for having me on the spaces. Yeah, I work at Solana Foundation, primarily, with game studios. And I guess, how I explain it to my mom is, oh God, I haven't done this in so long. Basically, it's like a kind of network that empowers builders to do, on-chain transactions, payments, global payments, being able to transact on games, DeFi, etc. But yeah, I think you covered it pretty well in terms of scalability and cheapness and security. Yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. And last but not least, we are happy to have here Claire, a Web3 Degan, XBiz dev at Binance and KuCoin, and the Director of Business Development at Hooked Protocol, the first Web3 social learning platform backed by Binance Labs, Sequoia, Animoca Brands, and others. So Claire, can you please let us know what makes Hooked so special among other education-dedicated platforms?
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me on this show. I think that we have the luck to be the first platform in the educational sector that move the knowledge and experience of Web3 into courses and develop it into a full experience for the users to learn. And it is completely free for everyone. They can even receive the token from the platform that offer the courses. So I think that it is the advantage of the first comer. So until this moment, we have secured a lot of meaningful partnership, which means that we'll be able to create more meaningful content to over 10 million users around the world to start learning about crypto, about blockchain securely and safely. So I think that is one of the most important key factor when it comes to this kind of competition. And also you can see that every year we have new trends. Right now we are in the middle of the meme summer and also AI development, but we are pretty consistent in our strategy. So we would like to stick with education from the beginning to the end, and with mass adoption being our key point to help the users.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, mass adoption is what crypto is lacking now, and education is definitely a key to that. So that's totally right. Well, and actually the journey into the world of crypto is as unique as the technology itself. And for many people, actually, their first encounter with blockchain marked the beginning of a deep interest or even a career shift, as, for example, it was with me. And actually, with that in mind, I'd love to hear about your personal experience. Like, how did you get into crypto? Do you remember the first time you interacted with blockchain technology? So what it was like for you, like your first experience?
I can start.
Sure.
So I was working in the banking industry. It was boring. I wanted to leave because it was very bureaucratic industry. Then I left. I was exploring Thailand for, for over a year. And then I came back and I was walking on the street and I saw the guy who was my client. And he was say, "Hey, I saw you. I thought you were in Thailand. What are you doing?" I said, I'm just walking." And he invited me for a lunch, and then we discussed that there is a very trending industry, which is blockchain and crypto, and we're just about to do the ICO. You want to join? I understood only just about, and then two, like, the words that I never heard, blockchain and ICO, but I was always the curious person, and that's how I joined crypto. It was the end of 2016, and we did the first ICO for the social platform called Daosasha, and then this crypto journey started, and now that was the best decision that I've made in my life, I would say, because of you guys, because of very talented, wide, open-minded, smart people, and I couldn't complain, and happy to build with you here.
Pretty funny story, Sasha. Do you remember which was the first coin that you have transacted?
Well, I never trade basically. I was always stayed in the builder side, but I got my first salary in Bitcoin. So it was like, okay, we don't have cash, but I accept in Bitcoin. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, my first transaction was salary in Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's funny. Ladies, can you share your experience?
I think I can go next. My experience is quite similar to Sasha because I have the
working at a bank as well, and then some of the products that I was working on was different, and with the I worked
Tiffany, guys, can you hear Tiffany? Because for me, it's really difficult to understand what.
Yeah, I guess it's because two speakers were speaking simultaneously, and now we can't hear Tiffany.
I heard Claire very well.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, are you here with us?
Maybe there's something wrong with the connection.
Yeah. Claire. Tiffany, maybe you need to rejoin because we hear you very badly. Oh, that's good. Now we can hear you. Tiffany? Well, okay, maybe some other lady will share her experience while Tiffany is trying to reconnect, or
I think Claire already started. Claire, what was you mentioned that it was a similar experience than mine.
yeah.
So looking
Can you
forward
hear with us?
to learn.
Okay, sure. Let me just kind of resume my story. I was working for a life insurance company in digital transformation, and much as the name is quite fancy, it is very bureaucratic as well. It has a lot of hierarchy. And at that time, my boss was a very innovative person. So he introduced the concept of Bitcoin to us when he claimed that it's gonna be the new gold of the internet. And this is our great time to start buying in and saving in Bitcoin, which is super, super innovative at that time. And I was curious by nature as well. I think that curiosity is one of the key factors that leads to a lot of job opportunities and positions in this industry. So I started in cryptocurrency as a researcher to clearly understand why Bitcoin is gold of the internet, and can we trust some kind of technology that's seemingly coming from the future and change the life and the landscape of a lot of people, especially the unbanked people that has high inflation rate of currency in their country, etc. And that is how I stuck with this industry until now. And for the funny experience that make me committed myself into working in this industry more is one experience that I had in Singapore. Okay, so girl story here. So I went to a Victoria's Secret store and I purchased a lot of items. And then two of my credit cards got declined because I wasn't originally from Singapore. So, I do not have enough cash on my hand because I rely a lot on centralized finance, on credit card and such. So at that time I was just like, you know what? Do you know what Binance is? I have a lot of USDT and Bitcoin stuck in that exchange, and I can just send you in the matter of seconds to pay the transactions. But they don't know about that yet. And I just realized that, wow, so currently we are relying on a system that just work on a nation base that is not international at all. And we have to bear a lot of middle fees, of hidden fees, in order to buy something that is a necessity to us. When if we have cryptocurrency as a mass adoption scale, then everything will be very quick, very transparent, and easy. So I committed from that time on to work even harder to bring the knowledge and more invention into the community so that they can have a better experience in shopping. So this is a very girly reason from my side.
That's pretty funny. I guess that's what Satoshi would be proud about, like to hear that Bitcoin is a medium of exchange, not only store of value, right? Well, okay, maybe Renna will share her experience. Renna, are you with us?
Yes, I am here. Yeah, so a little bit of a different experience, I guess, journey into crypto for me. So about, I think 4 years ago, so 2020, 2021, I was in DC, finishing up a master's in political management, at George Washington. And at that point, I had already had a couple of years of career experience. So not to date myself or age myself, but that was a couple of years after my college. And I was working in media, filming NBA off-court content, and decided that I kind of wanted to switch careers, go into politics, go into policy. So just up and packed my bags, moved to DC, got accepted to George Washington. And while I was in DC doing this master's program, everyone around me, including my fiance, was getting into the space. Very kind of DeFi summer, DeFi native, like people. And I realized at that point that we're gonna really have a need for crypto policy advocates, crypto lobbying. And I think that's even more true today. We're starting to see that. And so what I wanted to do was kind of go into the crypto lobbying and advocacy space. And so I was doing that, trying to find my niche. And so I was going to kind of conferences, really understanding the space, and realized that my actual interests and my talents, I think I just wanted to actually just work in the space. And at that point, I was getting kind of disillusioned with the American government, our kind of political systems, and then not to dive too deep into that. And so it was another like kind of moment for me to really kind of rethink what I want to do. So just went, headfirst into the space, doing, BD sales work as I have kind of my whole career. And so, never looked back, still doing stuff like that today. The initial experience for me was quite interesting because on one hand, I was seeing, like the policy side. On the other hand, I was seeing kind of builders. And on like the third hand, I guess, is I was seeing like a very decent side of it. I was going to conferences and kind of like hearing the language people would use. I still to this day remember that at one point people were equating like cost of goods with gas price. And at that point, I thought gas was like the gas you put in your car. So I was really confused why like we're talking about buying something with gas money. And I was like, what gas? It's like, what petroleum are you talking about? But they're like, no, it's a theory of gas transaction. So that memory is just very like engraved into my head.
That's so funny, really. And maybe I will proceed with you with the next question, which we are going to discuss. It's about challenges that women face in crypto, because actually we can say that women are still underrepresented in the field. And actually, if you can share any challenges that you faced as a woman in crypto and how you managed to overcome them, like proceeding talking about your experience, and maybe if there were any strategies that help you overcome them and those obstacles.
Yeah, I've always worked in very male-dominated industries, and I think what was really helpful for me is really finding like what your comfort level is. I think it's very easy for people or for like women for just, for you to naturally try to accommodate or just, take things as is because you feel like that's just the norm. That's what you're supposed to do. And like you forget to really think like, where is my comfort level? Like, am I accepting something or am I okay with something just because I have to do that to like, do my job, to get accepted, to feel like I belong? Or is there a certain level where you still are comfortable, but you still kind of like can excel and like be heard, be known? So, and I think that's different for everyone. I think, it's, you shouldn't see or hear someone give you advice. Okay, this is what you should do as a woman in the crypto space. This is how you should grow your career. This is what, but like how you want to grow yourself, and then like finding that comfort level and then just really sticking with it. Remembering kind of who you are in this space, not just as a woman, but just you as a person is really important. Like not to confine yourself as a woman in Web3, but you, Sasha, Claire, like who you are as a person in this space, and then growing and then like letting other people around you know what your comfort level is, who you are. I think just having that kind of like intrinsic self-awareness has been really helpful.
Yeah, well, thank you, Renna, for that. And we have here Tiffany, who is back. So Tiffany, can you please share your initial experience with crypto and maybe take the second question about the women challenges in this year?
Can you hear Tiffany? Because I cannot.
Nope. Tiffany, I see that you are a speaker. Please start speaking or send a request. Can you please try to request again? Well, ladies, so Twitter Spaces is trying us out. So maybe Sasha, you will proceed with your latest experience.
Yeah, sure. I would actually agree with Rena that you have to have yourself confident, and it doesn't matter whether you're women or man. It's just the challenges is always about the person. It's not about whether women. At least I don't know. This is the position that I'm following. Yes, we're women, we're strong, but in the crypto, you are just a person, and it doesn't. Yeah, I haven't specifically forced with any issues being the women in the space. I even getting all the benefits being rare women in the space and talking to guys, and it's even brilliant when they can help and willing to help because you're a woman and you, yeah, basically born to to ask for something.
Perfect.
So for me, it's really it's really cool. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
there is no
great
challenge.
experience.
Just be yeah, keep yourself confident.
That's so true. Tiffany, let us know if you're with us. I see you as speaker.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, finally.
Happy to have you on board.
Yeah, a lot of tech issues. Sure, like on the questions of like challenges, being a, I guess, woman in Web3, like I'm sure it's a very male-dominated industry, and also I came from like finance as well, so similar to Rena, like, finding comfort in like what you're good at, and then also I think it's just like being able to ask for help. Like most of the times I feel like we're scared to, ask people around us for support or, mentorship and guidance. But I think like facing that fear and asking people for um, help is, I think, one of the ways I kind of overcame a bunch of obstacles on like being a girl in Web3.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. Claire, can you share your experience with facing any challenges, if there was any?
Sure. So I think that I do not need to mention further about the benefits as all of the ladies here have already shared theirs, and I'm in the same place as well. But as a partnership and business development person, when I have to work and talk to a lot of different types of people, sometimes it is just some bad apples. I still love this industry no matter what, but it is quite hard to avoid being harassed at just because you are a woman, because there are some kinds of like self-proclaimed KOLs or the new founders that they think that they are the owner of the world just because they have some tiny details and success, that they think that they can look down on you and talk to you in different languages just because you are a woman. And I have received a lot of like impolite requests that is quite personal when it comes to uh, a very professional meeting. So, my advice, maybe it can be quite frustrated for a woman to first start it in this industry that is quite predominantly with men, that if they receive some of the experience like that, they can be let down, they can be frustrated. And my advice here in this case would be just take your stance, be very professional, even you can have the power of a man when it comes to negotiation. Do not let your gender get in the way and make them think that you are a weaker side of the deal, that they can manipulate you or they can just swing you for something else personal against your will. And I think that besides cryptocurrency, a lot of other industry out there, we are still having a lot of hardworking women having the same issue. So we are not lonely in this. You can always talk to your boss, your colleagues to maybe back you up when you're in a tough situation, or you can just set the boundaries yourself and defend it without fearing that it might harm the partnership or whatsoever, because they are in the wrong, not you. So just some 2 cents from my side.
Very well said, actually. So that's a nice advice to all the women over here. Yeah, that's so true. So nice speech. Thank you, Claire. So, and actually, we can say that crypto is always changing and offering new opportunities. And it's quite interesting, ladies, to hear what draws people to this area. You have shared your experience with us. And maybe you can share 3 things that you like most about crypto. And actually, a pinch of salt here. If you could change one thing about the crypto world, so what would it be? So maybe Sasha will start. Ladies, can you hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you.
So Sasha, you're on mute. Renna, maybe you will take turn.
I think I see Sasha like muting and unmuting. So if Sasha can,
Yeah.
I'm happy to go, but don't want to go. Okay.
No, no. I was distracted by someone else. Sorry for that. I missed the question. If someone can start, I will just follow what
Yeah,
we're
no
discussing.
problem. I will repeat the question. So there are 3 things. You have to name 3 things you like about crypto, and actually one thing about one thing you dislike about it, one thing you would like to change in the sphere.
Oh yeah, okay, good. So I can start.
Sure.
The one thing that I like is basically people, my team, their ability. I cannot say one thing, but can I highlight a few? So
Sure.
I really like in crypto that people wanted to change, and I'm here for the change, and I'm surrounded of the people who wants to build for the change, and this is what motivates me a lot. Bring value and yeah, maybe. Not that just change, but the change for the areas where the change is needed. Also, this open-minded and people who are just here to share and to bring this innovation. This is what I really like. What I want to change, or what maybe I want more people to be curious and to be interested in the technology. And another thing, and I want to keep this industry more to keep the interoperability, because sometimes people building the same things without any opportunities to interact with the solutions. And yeah, the thing that we're missing is interoperability and maybe proper UX. And what was the last thing? What I have to highlight?
That's it. Actually, the things you'd like to change and the
Okay.
things that you like about crypto.
Okay.
Thank you, Sasha. So, Renna, will you take turn?
Yeah. So one thing I like and one thing I don't, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just making sure. One thing I think I like how early we are in the innovations side of things. You always hear people comparing this industry to the dot-com boom, and just kind of thinking about the fact that we're in the middle of this and how early we still are, and thinking about decades down the road. Everyone here is going to be able to say, we were part of the Web3 boom, whatever the name that generations will give this era. We're part of it. We're so early still in kind of the discoveries of this different financial products, the different infrastructure products, just the ways that the technology can be leveraged for innovations. So I think that's just a very special thing to be a part of. One thing about the crypto world that I change, I mean, daily I would see something on Twitter and, think to myself, WTF. It's hard. I think maybe just the noise of it all. I think those that are so loud sometimes on like CT, whatever, could be quite distracting. So really kind of maybe like tuning down just the useless loudness sometimes. would be helpful for just not those participants in the industry, but even maybe those that are kind of looking in from the outside.
Yeah, well noted. Thank you, Renna. Claire, can you share your experience and your
I
ideas
think
about
that
that?
besides the people that Sasha already mentioned, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit too down to earth here because I heard a lot of stories from my end users. That is, this industry is very easy and has a lot of opportunity for people coming from different background to make the fair share of the earning that they deserve. So, if we rewind a little bit on the GameFi summer, I have talked to a lot of Filipinos, a lot of users in India that they are very happy and thankful for Web3 industry to allow them to play the games and earn a percentage of token from that they can pay the tuition from their school. They can help their mom on some grocery fee. And it is something that is quite nice coming from this industry that we cannot get from anywhere else. So we can call it the democracy. We can call it the decentralization that allows people to do that. But is this something that I hope to see in the long run, that people contribute their resources and get the payment that they deserve. When it comes to the thing that I want to change, I think that I would like to see more product getting friendlier to F0 or to non-crypto savvy people. Because right now we are trying to look cool, you know? We are trying to create a tribe, a community that is so exclusive, that only speak our own language, using the own jargons and graphic. But if we want to do mass adoption, maybe we have to tone down the D app to look like a bank app so that our grandma and grandpa can use. And if we want to get to more common people, then we have to tell the story similarly to the way that we see on television, not something super cool that only a handful of people can understand. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt, but that's my point of view.
Yeah, well said. I just remembered when I first got into crypto, there was kind of motto like to bank the unbanked, and that's exactly what you are saying, just to let people in and to give them wider opportunities. So I'm definitely with you on that. Thank you, Claire. So Tiffany, what about you?
Yeah, of course. I think like for one of the things that I really like about crypto is like as I mentioned before, like the ability to kind of send payments across super quickly, and also to see, um, I guess like a lot of new companies and ideas come to fruition because it seems like a new layer of technology in which builders can build really cool things on. One thing that I would, like to see change is that I feel like most of the activity is really orientated towards trading, and like X number, X token going up. Hopefully, as we mature in the ecosystem, that kind of perception also changes as well. But yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. And actually, the next question will be about the state of the market, because we see that the current state of the market is marked by FOMO, with the Bitcoin surging to the highest levels of 65.7 today. And the question, sure, not financial advice, etc., but where do you see Bitcoin in the nearest future, and what ideas do you have about the market right now? Where are we heading? So, Sasha, you are the first to share your ideas.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to share. So I'm not just, I don't want to highlight just Bitcoin or anyone else, but I'm following the several narratives right now in the industry, which is shared security, which is AI plus Web3, which is basically all the risk-taking narratives, which is GameFi, and the tone is really right now the biggest narrative in the industry. The Telegram slash Tone ecosystem is booming, and this 900 million users in Telegram would really bring some more people into crypto, and this is what I think would worth to highlight. DeFi is still on the same stage. DeFi summer is just around the corner. I see the market is basically changing, and I would we're all almost bullish. But this is something that I'm following. I don't want. I really don't. I cannot mention anything where we will go next. But my favorite narratives are basically shared security. I really following how AI will be implemented into crypto, and I really the gamification of the process and user onboarding is also really nice feature. And we see Notcoin, we see Pixelverse, we see TopSwap, who has 75 million users, 55 million users, which not all layers right now has in crypto. So this is gamification is really the thing. And I'm really curious and to see what will happen the next. The only thing that we need is just to keep educate the people and highlight the security point of crypto. I mean, the security or safety, more like the good word. In short, this is my thoughts.
Thank you, Sasha. Actually, you have almost predicted my next question, which was about the trends that's gonna pop up by the end of 2024, and you have partly answered that. Thank you. So, Renna, what about you? So, where do you see the market going? And maybe the next question will be also for you. So, how do you see all those popular trends being developed further, and what are the other trends that you think might pop up by the end of this year?
Yeah, I think things are pretty bullish right now. I think Bitcoin broke resistance level at 65K today. Even if you look at like support level at 60K, it's still pretty high. And there's just, all metrics for Bitcoin, I think, is pretty bullish. Today, they hit all-time highs for spot ETF balances. So in general, the sentiment, even when there are kind of, downtrends in the market, the general sentiment is still pretty optimistic, at least from my vantage point. I think DeFi activities are, a lot of people say DeFi is dead, but if you look at what's been happening on Arbitrum, InstaDApp launched last week and was able to hit, tremendous volume within like the week. Every, dApp that we've seen launch on Arbitrum or just kind of across the ecosystem has done pretty well. So I don't believe DeFi is dead. I think there's still a lot of activity, a lot of usage. I think we're going to see some interesting things with the US election coming up. I think prediction markets is going to get even bigger. Before we see a lot of just kind of your crypto degens really leveraging prediction markets, but I think we're going to see a lot more adoption into using like Polymarket, for example, for kind of election related, politics related activities. I think keeping an eye on local elections, right? Not just the presidential elections, seeing kind of which side takes, Congress will also matter a lot for kind of just an idea for what crypto legislation we're going to be seeing for the years coming, and then how that will affect pricing. I think restaking will probably keep growing. We're going to see a lot more with Bitcoin related DeFi, so BTC L2s, BTC restaking. I think gaming will keep booming. So in general, I think I'm pretty optimistic, pretty bullish.
Yeah, I would also add the reason why DeFi will great again is maybe cross-chain, because all teams are building. There is some cross-chain bridges, but there is no native cross-chain. And I would add maybe when there was a secure native solution for the cross-chain, DeFi will keep growing again, not just the bridge. Wise. So that's also just to add to Renna.
Exactly. Actually, it's what Kima is doing, trying to unite DeFi and CeFi, giving interoperability solution to all the apps, connecting like old and new world and bringing revolution into the old technology, let's say. Yeah. Thank you, ladies. Claire, would you like to express your opinion about that?
Well, I mean that the fact that we are all here has been a very strong proof that we're bullish about the future. I do think that by the end of this year, we're expecting a lot of new inventions and breakthrough products. I do share the same sentiment with the ladies here, and I think that what we have seen in the past, like DeFi or GameFi or SocialFi, is just like the beginning. It's like the 1.0 of everything. Because if we look back in the past, they are still very primitive, and there are a lot of like space for improvement. So I hope that in this bull run, the corporate Web2 companies, they will join hands with us. They will pour more resources to build something concrete. Let's pick games, for example. The metaverse is still not finished yet. We can see a lot of possibility for this sector. And also, let's say, we are still very, very far away from having a GameFi similarly to Final Fantasy or something like that. So we can definitely dream of a day when we can see the development of Web3 games so high that they can recreate the epic gameplay like a Web2 game. And yeah, so I think that that is the future that is worth looking forward to.
Yeah, let's all hope that it will be bright. Thank you, ladies. Tiffany, what about you?
Yeah, I would love to echo on like a lot of the points made earlier. I think like in the future, at least from my perspective on games, like super excited about fully on-chain games. And I think like this is a huge area where, we can see new ways of gameplay really get embedded in like the Web3 environment. Historically, I think we've been seeing a lot of Web 2.5s games, but now I think the technology and the builders are getting more comfortable with integrating things on chain. So we're seeing a lot of that activity pop up on Solana. And outside of games, we're seeing a lot of the elements in terms of like RWA, DePen applications, AI, and also we've been seeing a lot of AI come into gaming as well. There's a game on that's now building on Solana called Parallel. They're building their new title, Colony, which is kind of like they have AI agents that kind of play the game for you. And I think like, we're going to see a lot of kind of integrations between all of the different verticals, which is what I'm pretty excited about.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, ladies. And now we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some speed round. You will quickly answer or not quickly the questions. So I want to make some short disclaimer that this is purely for fun, not financial advice. So just let's have some fun. So Sasha, 3 questions to you. So consensus 2024 or Web Summit?
Consensus.
Well, okay. Trading on DEXs or on sexes?
DEXs and sexes, sort of 1-inch fusion.
Perfect answer. OKX or Bybit?
1 inch.
So great answers. Thank you. Renna, you're the next. Get ready. So finding out who Satoshi is or finding out the Coca-Cola recipe?
Ooh. I would say Coca-Cola. I want like Satoshi mystery. Let's just keep it a mystery. That's fine with me.
Yeah, maybe you can become a millionaire knowing that recipe. Why not? Okay, well, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Okay, lunch with Elon Musk or Changpeng Zhao?
Elon Musk.
Well, okay. Thanks. Clear, you're the next. Get ready. So, Doge or SHIB?
Dodge, of course.
Good. Blockchain Paris Week or token 2049?
Token 2049.
Okay. Would you rather be a founder of the project yourself or work for the company?
I would like to work for the company to save me all of the insomnia and sleepless night.
Yeah, that's like a joke that founders always work harder than just regular workers nonstop. Thank you. So, Tiffany, and actually 3 questions for you. Oh, wow, even 4. So, Tiffany, would you rather be a crypto influencer or an anonymous geek in crypto?
Anonymous.
Well, okay. Binance or Coinbase?
Solana. If I had to pick
Wow.
one of my base,
Okay. Okay. USDT or USDC?
USDC.
Well, okay. Holding top 10 altcoins or the same amount in Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Well, that's not the answer we expected. Thank you, ladies. Thank you all for participation. It was really fun, though we had some technical issues and hiccups at the very beginning. It was all great. So, and it was a real fun for me to take part in the discussion and to talk with you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you,
Take
girls.
care.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Have a nice
Take care.
day, evening. Bye bye.